Welcome, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time to continue Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Case 5, Voice LP, and all that. Let's go. Time for Investigation Day 3. February 24, 3:12 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SO9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. That means you. Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. SO9 incident. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting to the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind, and I can still see it now. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made up? Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. No, it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. You must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that, what did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. Can people stop doing that? When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by the prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator? Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. No, you did not tell me that! He was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me! How'd he go from detective to chief prosecutor in 2 years? After the Joe Dark case, he was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. But she was in law school! With Mia! She went to law school, became a detective, and then went ahead and became prosecutor? Lana needs to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. What the balls? Oh, what, Lana? What? How do you do that? How do you do that? Forever 24 Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Lana? Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SO9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Well, then tell me. Easy. At least try. A lot of revelations were uncovered in the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial? It really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana? What the witness, Miss Starr, said? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. Detective Lana. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. It was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and... They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together? Chief Gant? Then he was the vice head of criminal affairs, but he still worked for the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could later use that experience in court. Not a bad plan, actually. Gant's help in the SL9 case was critical in its resolution after that. He became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. That's a thing to do. That's why I did construction and other things in water industry. So I understood how those other things worked besides the field I was going to be in. I'm trying to be in. Dark investigation. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the chief detective was no doubt... Second in command? That means the chief detective was no doubt Damon Gant? Yes, Detective Gant and I shared the same office, and the same investigations. They even had the same office? We led a team with the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Dick Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the last murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us! Detective Gant and Prosecutor Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, when Dark must have panicked. He waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared with Detective Gant and myself. That's where he found me? So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. Well, what are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. That case was solved 2 years ago? At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark? Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office, the site of the final SO9 murder. Well, we're getting the fudge yet. See ya. Criminal Affairs? Yeah. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kinda quiet around here today. You're right. The head of the department seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. I was trying to go to Gant's place. Examine this guy. Hey, buddy. That man must be the head detective. He's staring at the screen so hard it might shatter. What? That case may have been fabricated. That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. Now there's a guy who cares about his work. Entrance. February 24th, Police Department. Entrance. We didn't expect to run into Marshall here. Water second. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall? I never thought things turned out like this way when I woke up this morning. Yes, sirrah. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Talk. Hey, Yoshi. Bar trial. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me, either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Then the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? It was Joe Duck's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. Question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. Whoop. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SO9 incident left behind? Prosecutor Marshall. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was the one with the best prosecutor around. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You don't mean King of the Prosecutors? Not that again. What are you looking at me for like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been really close to his brother. That day the SO9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It is the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting! It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, was save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in the tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Chief Detective Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief prosecutor, this guy was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret? It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in that court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. What the hell was that? Too bad I won't be around to work with you. You become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Yay! Alright, moving on. Can't do, okay, go here. February 24th, prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot. No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in their case. But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers to... I gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Go see Edgeworth. What else are we gonna do? Hey, Edgy. How's it going? February 24th. Hi, prosecutor's office. Room 1202. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. Where do I go? Alright. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. If you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks! Wow, he actually talked to us! With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do. About Miss Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together! I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just head across the hall to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything? Hey, you're right! You can't go in there, it's off limits! Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. He just said off limits! He just said off limits! Whatever, let's go. We're gonna die here, you know that, right? Considering we almost get murdered every case, we're gonna die here. Why does he have... Isn't that like an organ? That's an organ, isn't it? February 24th, Police Department Chief's Office. Oh, there's a picture of them. Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office? Silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. Yeah, pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. Who takes organ lessons in kindergarten? They used to call me Little Miss Bach. Yeah, Baca. Okay, I get it. Okay. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was. Hmm? Well, we woke him up. He's got a suit of armor. Voice. Baby. Oh, it's you two, baby. Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Mr. Wright, have you been swimming lately, baby? No, I haven't. I've been kinda busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years ago have passed since that incident, baby. But how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? Is that the killing weapon right there? What the hell? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. Well, this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together, baby. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. I can! I can't... Wait. Okay, there's two things I notice about this picture. Gant team picture added to the court record. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's get out. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh? At this office? It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore, baby. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Huh? Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Well, we got all we need anyway. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the Chief's office. Get inside the Chief's office. One moment. Does anyone see something missing? I've got a raging clue. I've got a raging clue. And that clue is in my pants. Right here. Right here. Right here. Where's this? Where's this blade? That's missing. It's a sword and shield, not just a shield. Also, there's a pointy thing over here. Who stands behind a statue when they take a picture? Who do that? Who do that, Lana? Why do you do that? I should have posted somewhere. Oh, there's this as well. There's a lot going on in this image. We got this missing from the shield. We've got that jar in the background. And what the hell is this about right here? These two are obvious. I don't know if this is actually anything, but these two are obvious. So keep those in mind for later. We'll see if Edgy is a thing we can see yet. Okay, over here. Oh, okay, so detention center maybe? See if Lana has a way we can get in. But why would Gant murderate, why would he kill Neil? Attorneys and prosecutors have no evidence. I have no business showing evidence outside court. It's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved. He really means it. Lana? And how can we do this all the time? Right? You highlighted something? Fuck, what the hell? Okay, criminal affairs. Only other place I can think of it. That wasn't thinking of that. Okay. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Gumshoe! Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, were you in a meeting? I was, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long in the meeting? Actually, I had to serve everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either you seen Mr. Edgeworth, my boyfriend? Edgeworth? No? Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office, man. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. By the way, I never lose. Is it because of what happened? Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to, man. Oh, pal. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Doc. Edgeworth's crisis. Well, why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence he presents in court, pal. Not only that, but as you know, there've been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. Those who don't like him haven't been able to do anything because of his amazing talent as a prosecutor. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only had that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work! Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to the joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problem with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a worried about him. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Only if there's an earthquake at this point. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. Seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. I wonder why. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me? It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon? It might jog his memory? Dark's crimes first. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed the man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed the lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then when he buried the bodies, John came upon the scene, he was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. He seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too. But fortunately, he was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That would have died horribly. It would suck. That last witness. He must mean Emma. Oh my God, Gumshoe, Jesus Christ. The murder weapon. About this. Hey, don't tell me that. It has a tag attached to it with a label SO9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife has been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, suddenly it disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Hey, pal, what the hell? This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, and it had his fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that? Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. So, the theory is that Neil was killed and then someone else broke off this piece inside his back? Well, why kill Neil? Why kill Neil? Switchblade knife added to the court record. Well, there you have it, in a nutshell. That's all I know, pal. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Oh, that's sneaky what they're about to do. The chief's out now and his office is locked? Well, we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can lock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. Yeah. How about this ID card? It was Dr. Goodman. It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Halls? Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe was our only chance of getting into the court. Is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Yeah, there it is. Investigator's the honest guy, right? Let's try presenting things. Present to him this picture. Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut. I'll keep that in mind. Sheesh. Sheesh, pal. I've been studying up those files. There's nothing wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. Presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. About that jar. I think I've seen it before somewhere. Somewhere? Or maybe it's one of those memory people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? Give us a clue. Like, we know where it's right there. Okay, how do we... How do we... Hey, that's it! That's the King Prosecutor's Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective J.G. Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congrats. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Yeah, okay, do we have the item we need? Do we have the item we need to get Gumshoe to activate? Because I don't know. How do we activate it? I can't believe Officer Marshall would do something like that. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your trouble. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus? Yeah, hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, he doesn't know! He doesn't know he's not a patrolman anymore. Try to go down the line. No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker. Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, Detective? The handprint of the real murderer's gloved hand, without any fingerprints. If they come to arrest me, they'll defend me, won't you? If that happens, I think it'd be better pleading with Edgeworth. Okay, I've been told we don't have the item, so time to pull out. Let's pull out. Alright, let's go somewhere else. Let's check out the detention center? No. Edgeworth! Let's see about Edgeworth, huh? Maybe Edgeworth is the key. Talk to Edgy. Here we go! February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. Huh? What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Oh, don't worry, I'm just gonna look at that piece of paper you dropped. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm gonna grab this. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him, I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth! Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground! Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of River. If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. Oh, show this to Gumshoe. He will do everything for his baby. I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault? I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Again! Mr. Wright, please you have to do something? This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Haha! Oh, I know what we can do with it. Bye, Edgy. Let's talk to Edgy, see what else he's got to say. Where's evidence? There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, what, that the evidence is falsified? The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibilities as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth? I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Oh, Edgy, time for a hug. Tomorrow's trial. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial? Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time there was only one thing on my mind. I'd use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. Hey, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture! Something seemed strange about it. Yeah, the crime. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You're participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend this one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes. Just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah? Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. You came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Suspicious, Gant. Suspicious. Picture. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding? It's a little different than yours? Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Okay. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute! Why would you object? Those claims contradict each other! Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. That merchant's an idiot! Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize? Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. A broken shield and a broken halberd. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. Even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given the shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, we had the halberd part of this award abolished. Chief Gant. King Prosecutor's Trophy updated. Alright. That's all we needed. Time to show him the jar, then pull out. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. Don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright? Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very stylish manner. Whose side are you on, anyway? Maybe I'll just show him my best evidence I can get some reaction out of him. That's it. Let's go. We show this to Gumshoe. It's it. Oh, hello. Something's happening. 24th, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. Excuse me? Called it, Star. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Star, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Okay, many animals have milk, so it's... what? A lot of different animals have milk. It's not hard to figure out. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SO9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. The Star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Doc, for no reason. Joe Doc. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake and Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SO9 case. Of course they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant? That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong. Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. Like you didn't have proof anything illegal was done? I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor? Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Legendary duo. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective and Lana's second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism, in particular, was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean? Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence? Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. I hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall? When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr? That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SO9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean, that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last! I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Thank you. Okay, let's see something. The shield. I don't have anything else to tell you. Mister? The only thing I can give you now is a poppy seed rice set. Talk about sheep. Eat this and maybe you'll be able to tell black from white in court tomorrow. I like poppy seeds. I like poppy seeds a lot, really. Poppy seed muffins are awesome. Here. February 24th. Police Department Criminal Affairs. Oh, you're back. You're still here? Yeah, I gotta make 150 copies of these files, man. Pal, brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ? I gotta admire your persistency, man. But my answer's still no, pal. I'm not letting you into the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line, pal. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. There's only one. Hold on a second, is there anything new to talk about? There's only one. This is gonna set him right the F off. And can we read this? Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as public prosecutor. He really wrote a resignation letter. Wow, even when resigning, Mr. Edgeworth is cool and concise. Feel it wasn't his fault? Someone has to be held responsible. That's how it is in the grown-up world. Yeah, but that responsibility means nothing if he just quits. Well, not everyone sees it that way. To truly take responsibility, you should have to work the rest of your life for no pay. Sometimes the grown-up world can be tough. Anything on the back out of curiosity? Nope. Alright. You're not gonna be smiling anymore in a second, bro. What's this crumpled up piece of paper, pal? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious, bro? I can't believe they've pushed him this far, pal. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible? At first I thought he was as cold as ice. Oh, we're gonna learn about these two right here. Oh, here we go. Oh. At first I thought he was cold as ice. Then he let me in. Then I got to know his war. Okay. Okay. At first I thought he was cold as ice, pal. But now I know different. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, pal. But we betrayed him. Detective? That's it, pal. I've made up my mind. What? Here, take my ID card, pal. We can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report? Look at me. No secret I'm already out of the loop, pal. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Friends. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated, pal. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Gumshoe's ID tucked swiftly into your pocket. Later, buddy. See you, pal. I don't think I'd be smiling right now, honestly. Cheese office. Here we go. February 24th. Police Department Chief's Office. Look, I don't ship often, but I shipped the hell out of those two really hard after this game. The last two cases. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Well, the other ship I do is Maya and Phoenix, obviously. Click. Beep. Explosion. No! Alright, here we are. Do not hit the pipe organ. You go in there and you just find Gant just jacking it. Open sesame? If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out, pal. Ah! Gah! Eek! Oh! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong, pal. Every time you go into the bad guy's den, you get beat the hell up, bro. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Crumpled Gumshoe's ID card in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card, pal. What? A little petty, aren't we? I hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself, pal. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out, pal. I've got a bad feeling about this. But we have him with us, so it's not going to be as bad a feeling. Peace out, us. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene, pal. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning, pal. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right, pal? Because it's one of the SO9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, it wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind, pal. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. Don't just let it go like that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, do we think of it? What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There he goes ignoring me again, pal. Oh wow, we really don't say anything? Holy crap. Okay, no, not move. Examine. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. You know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it? I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes? You don't have any taxes to pay! Shh! Be careful what you say, pal. Who knows? The chief may be hiding this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out? Cut it out, you guys don't know how scary that guy can be, pal. the armor's holding a thing, so I'm trying, but it doesn't get anything from looking at it, so let's go next. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were in here earlier... Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence, pal. Used in a case. A list of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? SO9 incident? I wonder what this is doing here, pal. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. That list of evidence, it seemed too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about the case. It would appear so. Evidence list added to the court record. I want to see that list real quick. What the fuck? I don't know what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I'd better keep quiet about it for now. What do you mean you can't make it out? Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe? That word is wrapped with intrigue, pal. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. Are we gonna try to open this thing? A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Put number. Do you know what it is, pal? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Oh, okay, it worked. Okay. Ding! Bingo! What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 77777777? That ID number? I think you're 1-7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's the Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Do I have to examine looking in? Really? Okay, look in. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away, pal? Holy crap. Look, it's Gant came in, broke that on somebody's dome, and then made this crime scene? A shard of a broken cup, pal. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in there too? What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. Got a fingerprint on it. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. Pal? You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought, pal. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. Piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Unless you can prove they have something to do with the case. I'm afraid I can't just let you take them, pal. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SO9 incident? Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective. It's kind of... Really? Alright, okay. We're Professor Layton up in here. It's a puzzle! There you go. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? All of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SO9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one? That was in the safe? Huh. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells, pal. Let's see if it fits. Assemble. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what your rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Are we really going in there for one piece? Yeah, we are. Okay, game. Okay. Combine. Upside down. Combine. Donk. The hell is this thing? It's ugly. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed the piece of evidence from the SO9 incident. But... Hey guys, get a load of this, pal! What is it? This piece you just attached is different from the others. There's a reddish line on it? A reddish line? That's blood! I don't get it, pal. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Unstable jar, data has been updated. What was the other thing? The hand? The thing? Oh yeah, okay, so present. If I'm fired, I won't be able to give you any information. So that's why I have to get it all out of my system now. You understand, don't you, pal? Don't be so negative, detective. We do want you to share your information, though. Oh, who am I fooling? I never had anything useful to share to begin with. Arg, got to stay positive. Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department, Belle. That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th floor. When a detective screws up, the chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours. That's... what's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul? After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for ringing in his ears, pal. So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's besides the point. This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along with Chief Gant to question Dark, pal. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? Hey. This was Lana's desk. It sure was tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of, pal. Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. A small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey, this is when Lana and I went to that theme park? Okay. These shelves are... Oh, okay. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside, pal. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying, pal. Saying what? Ever since making detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. Hard-boiled. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. As long as he doesn't go crashing through that window. When he gets fired. Don't say that. Jeez, Phoenix. Okay, so we gotta find what evidence links to that handprint. I have no idea at the moment. Alright, we're going down the line, because I've got no clue what this leather thing is. So, going down the line. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Examine. No, not examine. Present? Why didn't I think of this sooner, right? Present. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. Do you want me to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take? Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that, pal. The one with the fan print on it. Right. I'm not a dumbass, no. Yeesh, where's your sense of humor, pal? Ah, here we go. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check you for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told 1,000,000 times. Alright, let's get this over with. Jesus. Is it Goodman's? Maybe it's Goodman's. Hello. I give it my best shot. What kind of result? That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Alright, let's try the middle finger then. Flip them off. Blow! Ah, here we go. Middle finger it is. I need a little more, seriously? Blow! Blow! Alright, let's see. Nope. 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 It's not his. Okay, whose would it be? Nope. Nope. Why? Alright, let's go. Let's see what this is about. Why hers? No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Oh god, if Emma's actually the killer. It seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh? That's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Hey you, over here, pal. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe, pal? Don't ask me! Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this, pal. Well, was that any help, pal? Of course! Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it, baby? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Yeek! Chief Gant, pal! Yeah. We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run it right into a hole. Just then I thought of a certain detective, pal. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave, baby. Yes, sir? Sorry? Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore, baby. But, sir... Now get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait. You, the one with without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair. You're free to go. Mr. Wright? Oh, this worries me a lot. This worries me a lot. Look, pal, I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneak it in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it, pal. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, well, we didn't close the safe in time, which is very bad. I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time. Anyway, you listen to me, pal? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police want to ask her some questions. So she'll be busy for the rest of the day. February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. Sometimes your defendants lie. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. Who it is you're hiding behind those words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Keeping quiet. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? Do you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No! I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposed to be so frightened of. What is the person's name? Oh, they gave it to me real easy. Well, Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? Damon Gant. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he was respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was... me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other. Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. The jar? I just found this in a safe in Chief Gant's office. This jar piece and this strip of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SO9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other... The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Orders. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected, despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in him. The knife from the SO9 incident? Serial killer Joe Dark's knife? I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. Oh, there it is. Okay. I wasn't perfect on my guess. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Oh, so she's not as dumb as Edgeworth. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr. So that moment did happen, okay. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? Dark's knife. Took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. That's why she hid it. You wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edward's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister. Tell her what happened and ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SO9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card. But it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. Does that line up, right? After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. Okay, that does line up, okay. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana! You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial! There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Are we doing more investigating or we're going to court? Save. Holy balls! That was almost 2 hours! Now we're going to court. Okay, wow, that was long. Okay, here's how you know it was a good game. All that time going by, I thought it was only like an hour. Damn. Alright, so that went. Holy balls. Okay, so this is it. Next episode's gonna be the big finale. The big end to this thing. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. Gotta be one more day. Maybe 2, I don't know, but oh my god, we're getting there. So for now, that right there is the game. I had fun. Hope you're watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. Oh, man. Oh, man.